Our guest in this segment is in Charleston this morning, Amy Orndoff from Berkeley Senior Services. Aim, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. I've learned that none of you guys should come and do lawn work for me.
We're a disaster, aren't we?
Yes, no lawn work for me.
Just a bunch of old victims.
As long as you have insurance for us, we'll be all right.
Well, I have EpiPens, so you can keep working.
All right, good, yes.
Amy, who is the lady who used to do the gardening for you guys out front a couple years back?
That was Miss Gerlach, and she is, I believe, she is now 100.
Oh my!
And she does still come and pick up her lunch.
That's great.
But you can't get her to do gardening still?
Well, she gardened up until about 2 summers ago.
Wow, that's amazing.
She decided that it may be a bit much, but she's a great lady.
Did she ever get stung?
Her.
That's a good age to retire.
98.
That's just amazing that she's still doing it. What a great lady. That's amazing.
98 years old, still out pulling
That's
weeds.
enough. I've been working for 80 years. That's enough. I'm vested.
Yeah.
I'm vested.
And our raised flower beds have not looked the same since.
Never will. Never will.
Nope.
What are you doing in Charleston this morning?
Well, we are working on that wonderful thing, Certificate of Need. How many years is that going to come up? We don't know. But we are working with our legislators and hoping to be able to carve out so that we're not lumped in with the medical facilities and the hospitals and removing of the Certificate of Need, because it is vital for our in-home care services and much of what hospice does. So we're hoping that they will listen to us and realize that they're comparing apples to oranges when they're comparing things like medical facilities to what we provide in the home for in-home care services.
Amy, we've done so many interviews on Certificate of Need, especially over the last 2-3 weeks, and Senior Services has never come up in that. In fact, I will tell you, I didn't even know that what you do is covered under Certificate of Need. Why is CON important for you at Berkeley Senior Services, and how does it benefit you or restrict anybody else?
Well, we have one in-home care program that we provide that's funded through Medicaid. That's our personal care services, and currently that is the only program that requires a Certificate of Need for us. So the way that it would directly impact us is by removing that, for-profit agencies can come into our area and provide in-home care services, which is totally fine. We want to make sure that our seniors are remaining in their home and remaining independent. Where it directly impacts us is that the reimbursement fees that we receive for that helps to supplement other programs. And currently there is no one in our area or throughout the state that is waiting to receive personal care services. So all of our agencies are able to provide those services the members that have been approved to receive. So we need the Certificate of Need to stay in place just to protect what we're doing and what we're accomplishing with our members.
What kind of reception are you getting with this case that you're pleading?
It's kind of a mixed bag of things. Just to kind of put things into perspective, when a for-profit agency, and I am not in any way speaking ill of for-profit agencies, they are, they provide incredible services and they are very caring and passionate. What sets us apart is that we have surrounding services that we can also provide other than taking care of just the in-home care side of it. And a lot of the for-profit agencies, in fact, all of the for-profit agencies in our area and throughout the state, they provide only the in-home care services. So just to kind of put it into perspective, a few months ago, we had a gentleman that is receiving personal care from us, which the CON protects, at 4 o'clock or 3:45 on a Friday afternoon. He had lost his home. So he had been living in a hotel for 10 days. He had resources to live in a hotel for 10 days. On the 10th day, the hotel, his financial resources ran out. The hotel had no choice but to remove him from his room because he was no longer able to pay pay to be able to stay there. He calls our office at 3:45 on a Friday evening with his garbage bag of belongings, his dog, and his oxygen tank that he was on, saying, "I have nowhere to go. What can you do to help me?" We worked with the rescue mission, who is, I cannot speak highly enough of our local rescue mission. They are phenomenal, but because he was on oxygen, he was not a candidate to be able to stay there. So our staff was able to work until about midnight that night, finding him another place to stay. We delivered him a meal. The next day, we took him to his medical appointment. We worked with other local resources to be able to get him into an apartment, so that he would not be on the street, literally. And that is why the certificate of need is so important for the services that we provide, because without those surrounding support things, who is going to be able to find resources at 8 or 9 o'clock on a Friday night for this gentleman? And fortunately, we had them all under our roof, and we were able to do that and accommodate. That's
a very powerful story and heartbreaking as well.
It truly is, and we see this all the time. We serve our seniors around the clock, all day, every day. Our hours may be 8 to 4 on our door, but anyone that's in need, we work around the clock to make sure that our seniors have what they need when they need it. Inclement weather, we're delivering meals. We're either sending out meals ahead of time if we know we can't get to our seniors. That's why all of our meal delivery trucks are 4-wheel drive, so that we can get to where we need to get to. And protecting our services with a certificate of need is very dire to what we do.
Jonathan Bodwell.
How many seniors do you serve on a weekly basis here in our community?
On a weekly basis, that number is very fluid. We do provide, we deliver meals to 103 seniors every single day throughout our doors, through our activities and our various programs. What we're primarily known for, we normally see anywhere between 700-800 seniors a week. We provide in-home care services for about 100 seniors. We provide, respite services for caregivers to relieve them of their caregiving responsibilities. We have about 60 to 70 caregivers that we relieve. We have a support group that meets once a month, and we typically have between 40 and 50 caregivers coming to that support group just to obtain educational information, to learn more about how to care for their loved one with an Alzheimer's or dementia diagnosis. So, we touch a lot of lives. We provide a lot of services, a lot of hours, a lot of manpower.
I think there are a lot of people in our community that just don't understand how many services you provide. I mean, there are a lot of people that have families where their families are taking care of all this, but there are a heck of a lot of seniors in our area without the support, and you all become their family. You become their advocates. You're, like you said, with this guy, you found him a place to live at night. I mean, it's amazing work that you guys do.
Thank you. And even the families that do have family members that are taking care of their loved ones, they become overwhelmed. They become burnt out and stressed. So we become then a support for them so that they can continue to take care of their loved ones. When you're a caregiver, you always put your loved one first, and you never take care of yourself. And, then the caregiver becomes burnout, or they become sick themselves because they're so run down. So we like to just be the emotional support, and sometimes just a listening ear is what they need. So, we really, our mission is to keep seniors as active and independent in their homes where they're most comfortable. And at the end of the day, that saves our state money. It's a whole lot less expensive for us to go into the homes and take care of these seniors than for them to be in a facility.
Matt Miller.
See, guys, it's good to still get out and play some flag football, no matter how old you are.
Stay active.
Be active.
I was listening to that segment. I'm thinking, you know what? We have a large enough ground. I think we're going to do a game of flag football in the spring. I think our seniors would love it. That's great.
I have often thought it would be cool to get a group of teenagers and use walkers and hook the flags on the wall, and you play flag football, but you have to use your walker to get around, kind of like wheelchair basketball type
I
of deal.
can see that ending very badly.
Yeah,
Or you could get the kids out playing the flag football and the seniors, I don't know, as spectators maybe.
I
little
love
safer.
that idea. That
Yes.
we need to do something together.
Yes.
We need to bring these kids in. Seniors love. We have students that come on a regular basis from Faith Christian Academy. We partner with all the local high schools. A lot of time the junior ROTC students come, and they are just fantastic with our seniors. On this past Friday, we had our Valentine's Day celebration, and we had some students from Valley College that came and volunteered. And, our seniors they love when we have visitors, and they especially love when they're teenagers or kids. They just, that just brightens their day. And, of course, the ladies love when the younger guys come.
The governor, we'd be defined as younger guys though in that crowd.
We are. That's yes.
Yeah, the governor has pretty much ordered some belt tightening in the state. Said there's a $400 million hole in the budget that structurally grows to $500 million, and then even more in the further out years. Is that going to affect your budget and any money you get from the state? And are you aware of any issues with federal money that you have depended on in the past?
Well, we are really hoping that it does not impact us. Specifically for Berkeley County, the great advantage that we have is just our population itself. Because we are a large county, that does help us with the allocation process, but that's not a guarantee. So, that's why for us fundraising and individual grants, local grants are vital to us surviving and for keeping us going. We rely heavily on our donations. As I've said many, many times on this show, we do not charge for our services, but the donations do help to offset those expenses and those costs. So right now we're hoping that we don't see a cut, but you never know that until the last day of the legislative session when everything has been approved, signed, and, you don't count on anything until it's signed on the dotted line.
What else are you, in regards to Charleston, what else are you working on down there, if anything, Amy?
A big thing that we're working on this year, I think this is the first year in probably 6 or 7 years that we're not asking for additional funding. Because we have so many new legislators and different people filling different roles and different positions, the big thing this year is just education and just letting our legislators know what we do, who we are. A lot of our legislators just really don't realize all of the services that we offer. I was speaking with someone last week. They didn't realize that we offered transportation, not just to medical appointments for dialysis and for chemo, but to and from our senior centers and to and from to run necessary errands. It's usually not safe for a 97-year-old person to be driving anymore, but they're still very independent. So we can take them to Martin's, we can take them to Walmart, we can take them to get their hair done into the post office. And just educating our state on what we do and why our services are so important is our main focus this year. And, of course, pleading our case to keep the CON in place.
Amy, are services like this offered in all 55 counties in West Virginia? And if so, how is everyone kind of teaming together with you right now down in Charleston to get this information out?
Well, all centers, we do operate under the Bureau, the West Virginia Bureau of Senior Services, which holds our hand to the fire with regulations and policies and oversight. It's up to each center specifically what services they offer. A lot of centers have their Meals on Wheels is included in with their senior centers. We're one of the few counties that Meals on Wheels operates separately from us. So it is up to the centers as to what services they provide. But we have a West Virginia Directors Association that we all the directors come together and just try to make our voices heard as a collaborative group.
I want to swing full circle back to where we began, and when you talked about the certificate of need and its impact in the home or in-home care, do you see other? I mean, if the legislature says we're going to do away with that certificate of need, do you see other agencies that are like waiting to step right in, or actually, I guess you would say, for-profit companies ready to step into that field, or is this kind of protecting what could happen down the road?
Well, it's a little bit of both. There are quite a few for-profit agencies that are just waiting for it to be removed so that they can begin. There are some for-profit agencies that are in all 55 counties that have already received their certificate of need and went through the process and was able to obtain that. But for the most part, we're looking forward. So we're trying to protect what we have, but then we're also looking forward. We have some programs that only senior centers are allowed to offer as far as in-home care and respite services, and just making sure that we protect those services, that they remain under the Bureau of Senior Services.
Is there anything else, Amy, that you guys are talking to the legislature about that you think could make the senior services in West Virginia better?
And I got room for about a 20-second answer, Amy.
The biggest thing is the educational piece, just making sure that all of our state representatives know that we're here, this is what we do, this is why it's so important.
Amy, thank you so much for your time this morning and the work that you're doing.
Thank you, guys.
I got to say
Thank you.
that you and along with my wife are two of the sweetest people I've ever known, and you make the world better just by waking up each morning.
Aw, thank you so much. That is so sweet.
You're very welcome.
Have a good day.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.